How to make a DIY cap for a deep well, a step-by-step guide by Mondragon Motovlog. Deep wells are vital sources of water, especially in rural areas where access to municipal water systems may be limited. However, over time, these wells can become hazardous due to debris, contamination, and even the risk of accidents. One of the most important ways to keep your well safe, clean, and functional is by making your own well cap. In today's tutorial, I'm going to walk you through the process of crafting a sturdy, reliable DIY cap for your deep well, just like I did for mine, and as I'll show you on my Mondragon Motovlog channel. Let's dive right in, and I'll teach you everything I know about making this cap, why you need a well cap. Before we get into the how-to part, let's discuss why you need a well cap. Over time, wells can accumulate debris, twigs, leaves, dirt, even small animals entering the water. This not only affects water quality, but can also lead to dangerous accidents, especially for children or pets. A well cap prevents all this and serves as a protective shield against the elements. A good well cap should seal the well securely, be weather-resistant and durable, be easy to remove for maintenance or checking water levels. Tools and materials needed. First things first, you'll need to gather your materials and tools. Here's a list of what you'll need. Materials: galvanized steel sheet. Galvanized steel is ideal because it's rust-resistant and durable. Steel rods. These will serve as reinforcements for the frame of the cap. Welding rods. For welding the steel rods together. Bolts and screws. These will secure various parts of the cap together. Rubber gasket. This will provide a tight seal around the edge of the well, ensuring no debris gets in. Metal handle. Optional, but useful for lifting the cap on and off easily. Tools. Welding machine to join the steel rods and frame. Angle grinder or metal saw to cut the galvanized steel sheet to the correct size. Drill for making holes for bolts and screws. Measuring tape to measure the well's diameter accurately. Safety equipment, gloves, goggles, and welding helmet for safety. Step 1. Measure the well. The first step in creating your well cap is to measure the diameter of the well. You'll want the cap to fit securely, so make sure to measure the well's opening accurately. Here's how you do it. Take precise measurements of the diameter using a measuring tape. You can either measure across the well opening from one side to the other, or use a string to determine the circumference and divide by pi to get the diameter. Double-check the measurements to ensure you're not cutting the steel sheet too large or too small. A snug fit is key. Step 2. Cut the steel sheet. Once you have your measurements, it's time to cut the galvanized steel sheet. Steel is tough, so it's important to use the right tools for this task. You'll need a saw specifically designed for cutting metal, or an angle grinder if you have one available. Mark the steel sheet with the measurements you took earlier, ensuring you cut a circular shape that matches the diameter of the well. Use your metal saw to carefully cut along the lines, keeping the cuts as straight as possible. Tip: if you're not confident in your cutting skills, you could also have the steel sheet cut at a local hardware store for a small fee. It's often easier and quicker. Step 3. Create the frame. Now that you have the steel sheet cut, it's time to reinforce it with a steel frame. This frame will provide structure and durability, ensuring the cap doesn't bend or warp over time. You'll be welding steel rods together to form the frame. Measure the perimeter of the steel sheet and cut 4 steel rods to the length of each side of the circle. Weld the rods together to form a square or circular frame around the steel sheet. Make sure the frame is even and weld the joints properly for a strong bond. Attach the frame to the steel sheet by welding or using screws, ensuring it's firmly secured. This reinforcement will prevent the cap from collapsing or losing its shape over time. Step 4. Attach the handle. To make sure you can easily lift and remove the cap whenever you need, I recommend adding a handle to the top of the cap. Choose a metal handle that's sturdy and strong enough to lift the cap. The handle should be welded to the top center of the cap. Weld the handle securely, ensuring it's flush with the surface and doesn't wobble or shift when you try to lift it. Step 5. Install the rubber gasket. A rubber gasket is essential to ensure the cap forms a tight seal around the well. This will prevent debris and small insects from sneaking into the water. Cut the rubber gasket to match the circumference of the well opening. Attach the gasket to the edge of the cap using screws or adhesive. It's important that the gasket is applied evenly around the entire perimeter so the cap seals tightly when placed on the well. Mixing cement for making a cap of a deep well. A step-by-step guide by Mondragon Motovlog. Deep wells are essential components of water management systems, especially in areas where groundwater is a primary source of drinking water. Ensuring that the well is properly constructed and sealed is crucial for its longevity and functionality. One important aspect of deep well construction is the creation of a well cap. The cap serves as a protective cover for the well, preventing contaminants from entering and ensuring that the well remains in good condition. One of the most reliable materials for creating a well cap is cement, as it provides both strength and durability. In this essay, we will explore the process of mixing cement for making a cap for a deep well, offering a thorough step-by-step guide with additional insights from Mondragon Motovlog, a YouTube channel that focuses on practical construction and DIY tips. This guide will cover everything from selecting the right materials to the actual mixing process, as well as tips for ensuring a solid, long-lasting cement cap. Materials needed for mixing cement for the well cap. Before we dive into the mixing process, it's essential to gather the necessary materials. The quality of the materials used directly influences the final result, so choosing the right components is key to ensuring a durable and secure well cap. 1. Portland cement. This is the primary ingredient in cement mixing. Portland cement is commonly used for its strength and versatility, and it is highly resistant to cracking and water damage when properly mixed. 2. Sand. Fine sand is mixed with cement to create a smooth, workable mixture. Sand provides bulk to the mixture and helps prevent cracks in the finished product. 3-point gravel or crushed stone. Coarse aggregates like gravel or crushed stone are often added to the cement mixture for added strength, especially when the well cap needs to bear weight or endure external pressures. 4th. Water. Water is necessary to activate the cement and make the mixture workable. The correct water-to-cement ratio is critical. Too much water can weaken the cement, while too little can make it difficult to work with. 5. Reinforcement materials, optional. In some cases, reinforcement like steel bars, rebar, or wire mesh may be added to the cement mix to increase its strength, especially if the well cap is large or expected to bear heavy loads. 6. Tools. To mix the cement, you will need tools such as a shovel, a wheelbarrow or mixing tray, a water bucket, and a trowel for application. Step-by-step guide to mixing cement for the well cap. Step 1. Preparing the mixing area. Before mixing, ensure you have a clean, level workspace. If you're using a wheelbarrow, make sure it's positioned in a location where it won't tip over. Lay down a plastic sheet or tarp if you're working on the ground to make cleanup easier. Step 2. Measuring the materials. The right ratio of cement, sand, and aggregates is crucial to achieving the desired strength and durability. A typical ratio for well caps is 1 part cement, 2 parts sand, and 3 parts gravel or crushed stone. However, this ratio can vary depending on the desired strength and specific requirements of the well cap. For smaller projects, you can mix in smaller quantities. For larger projects, a concrete mixer may be more efficient. Step 3. Mixing the dry ingredients. Start by combining the dry ingredients, cement, sand, and gravel. Use a shovel to mix the materials thoroughly. The mixture should be evenly distributed to ensure that the final cement is consistent in texture and strength. Pro tip from Mondragon Motovlog. When mixing the dry ingredients, it's important to make sure there are no lumps in the cement. Lumps can cause inconsistencies in the mixture, leading to weaker spots in the final cap. Ensure everything is well blended. Step 4. Adding water. Next, add water gradually to the dry mix. Start by adding a small amount of water and mix it in thoroughly with your shovel. Continue adding water bit by bit until you reach the desired consistency. The ideal cement mixture should have a thick paste-like texture that holds its shape when molded but is still workable. Mondragon Motovlog tip.